Hello and welcome to my in context lesson today, and this is about supplements. I often get asked in clinic, especially with my skin treatments, as well as with metabolic health for weight loss and for gaining energy and expanding the health span, which supplements should I be taking, Jen? So I want to do this video about putting into context which supplements should I be taking. Okay, so I've done some slides as always, and if you like the content then please make a comment, say hello, obviously subscribe and click the notification to be advised whenever I do go live or if I release a video. So in today's in context session we're going to talk about the basics of supplements. Number one, I'm going to cover off which supplements you should take. Number two, what are the best forms of those supplements, and number three, touch on some outcomes or some to-dos that you can do because supplements are no good in the cupboard. So supplements for functional health, if we're looking at vitamins, minerals, herbs and probiotics, there are then little elements to each one of those. So we have water-based vitamins, fat-based vitamins, minerals, there are major and trace-based minerals. For herbs, you've got botanicals and then you've got compounds. And then for probiotics, we've got the lactobacillus and then we've got bifidobacterium. So there are sort of a little bit of the keywords that you'll notice or you'll hear about and who and which part of the supplement family, let's say, that they're related to. So micronutrients are often overlooked as an essential part of our functional health, as we often believe that we get sufficient vitamins and minerals from our food choices. Now, vitamins are an essential organic chemicals required by organisms to regulate the physiological functions related to energy, growth and repair. So the majority of vitamins need to be obtained from what we consume, since the body either does not produce them or can only produce them in a minor amount. Now, each vitamin has its own function in the body and each person requires a particular quantity of different vitamins. The primary job of vitamins is to support methylation to transport energy from the food you eat into cells to create mitochondria. When low in nutrients, your metabolic pathways will find it difficult to let go of any stored fat for energy. So when we believe that we could just get energy from our stored fat, we often need vitamins to actually gain access to that energy. So with the minerals, the major minerals, the macro minerals, are required at approximately 100 milligrams per day. Minor, or sometimes known as trace minerals, micro minerals, we require less than 100 milligrams per day. So the amount needed in the body are not an indication of their importance. Now, essential mineral intake is a key part of the metabolic pathways at a cellular level. They make a difference between a lack of energy and fatigue to having vitality and glowing healthy skin every day. But remember how important the pH in the gut microbiome is for absorbing these minerals. We've touched on that before. Now, herbs, products made from botanicals or plants that are used to improve health and wellness are solely for internal use, have these therapeutic properties. And the popular botanicals are like ginkgo, echinacea, milk thistle, black cohosh. So compounds such as garlic, turmeric and ginger are often taken to reduce inflammation. Now, they are sold as tablets, capsules, powders, teas, extracts. You can have them fresh or dried. Recommended by herbalists as part of a neuropathic holistic approach to manage menopausal symptoms, adrenal fatigue, cancers, fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. But remember, they can interfere with existing medications as they are very potent. So probiotics, now these are a combination of live beneficial bacteria and yeasts that naturally live in your body. So lactobacillus and bifidobacteria strains are classed as what we call the good bacteria and is commonly found in the probiotics foods to support the digestive tract, mouth and vagina as they thrive in the lactic acid, so the milky based products. Available in tablet form, drinks and in various states can create this multiple strains of bacteria. Also, the consumption of fermented foods containing this lactic acid bacteria, such as the kefir, yogurt and sourdough, have been found to increase this bifidobacteria and lactobacillus in the gut. So let's look at the basics, the foundations of this. So B6 is ideal for energy, B12 is about the nervous system, folate is about repair, and vitamin C is about immunity. That's the headlines. They all interlink a little bit backwards and forwards, but in general that's where we would place them. So when looking at the optimal health span, it's not about getting different benefits, it's just getting more benefits in the same departments. So NAD+ will start to improve energy even more. Magnesium starts to regulate the nervous system a little bit better and a little bit more detailed. Omega-3 then starts to look at the repair, and then glutathione helps to support the immune system. So, things like vitamin C and glutathione are both antioxidants, but vitamin C is more on a kind of superficial level, and glutathione goes onto a deeper level. So the recommended supplements, as I suggested, is a B6, a B12, folate, and vitamin C. They're the standards. So they are the recommended supplements that I would give to anybody who came to me, regardless to what their symptoms are. Now, the main reason is the B vitamins. These are the most important vitamins to deliver energy into the cells. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper and explain why. Okay. Now, so the question is what is DNA methylation? Now, the reason I recommend B vitamins first and foremost over any other supplementation is all to do with the DNA methylation. So methylation is a chemical modification of our DNA that creates energy for our cells to divide and make more cells. So it's kind of like the epicenter or the core of our energy production. Now the DNA gene expression that generates the mitochondria is determined by the quality of this methylation process. Now, this cellular expression at the methylation phase can be influenced by environmental factors such as our diet, existing hormones or synthetic hormones, levels of stress, drugs, and exposure to toxins. So you have your DNA methylation, which is based upon your gene expression, which can be then influenced by the world around us. Okay, so symptoms of poor methylation are things like anxiety, depression, insomnia, headaches, and then second phase, allergies, gut issues, muscle pain, sugar addictions, and cravings. Okay, so you'll have seen lots of these before. So these are fundamentally, when I see or hear these type of symptoms from clients, I'm thinking quality of methylation, and that's about the quality of the B vitamins helping to deliver the energy into the cells and being able to metabolize that energy to create quality mitochondria. However, like in most things in the body, something often gets in the way and can help disrupt that process. And one of the key things is something called homocysteine. So what is homocysteine? Well, homocysteine is a chemical in the blood produced when an amino acid called methionine is broken down, right? And the body requires B12, B6 and folate to regulate the homocysteine levels. Okay, sounds pretty simple. However, the dietary intake of the necessary nutrients may not convert to the active forms due to those genetic variations I mentioned and the cellular expression at methylation. So we need good quality B12, B6 and folate to be in its active form to work with the methionine to break down the homocysteine. Well, the question is why is that so important? Because the long-term consequences of irregulated or high levels of histamine can go on to cause disease. High levels of a histamine is often found in people that have things like blood clots, coronary heart disease, heart attacks, and things like osteoporosis. It's also associated with alterations in mental health such as cognitive impairment, dementia, depressions, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. So it's really important that we transport the B vitamins into their active form to regulate the histamine based upon the methionine, which has been generated and supported by the quality of the DNA methylation of those B vitamins. typically goes round and round in circles. Okay, so the burning question often is, well, okay, how can I improve the quality of the DNA methylation in each cell? Get into that root cause of any high histamine problem. What can I do? What can I do to make sure that the DNA methylation of those B vitamins is at its best? Yes, you've got your external factors that I mentioned, lifestyle factors, stress, toxins, and all those sorts of things, and your own natural gene expression. So sometimes we have SNPs or variations on our genes that can also impact our ability to convert the B vitamins that we consume into the active form. And when I say consume, as you know, nutrition covers food as well as supplementation. Coming back to my question, how can I improve this then, Jen? Well, the trick is when you're looking at doing supplementation, you'll know I'll talk about food in a different video. It's always about your food in its most natural form to ensure that you're getting the best quality B vitamins in. But if you're looking at supplementation, the answer to the question is to take methylated B vitamins. Now, most supplement companies are aware of this, and over time a lot of them are naturally putting in methylated B vitamins. And what this means is that the B vitamins are already through that methylation cycle. They're already active and ready to be used to balance the histamine. So you're already a step forward in the chemical process. So that's why we would recommend, or I recommend, the methylated B vitamins. Now they've got big long fancy names, but the key things at B6 you'll see on the back of the packet, you'll see P5P. So B12 you're looking for methylcobalamin, and then with folate, I'm not even going to attempt to say that, you're looking for the initials 5-MTHF. Okay, so these are the active forms of the B vitamins that you're looking to take to help improve your methylation, and which is all to do with the delivery of energy into the cell, so that you can ensure that you get the best quality mitochondria in every cell that you make, and this will help to fight the histamine levels that often can combat that in life. So moving on to vitamin C. Now this has many functions in the body. It supports optimal immune function, helps maintain healthy skin, blood vessels, bones and cartilages. Okay, so again, it's a fundamental one. It's a potent antioxidant and helps to prevent the free radicals damaging those cells. So if you've made a weak cell because of methylation, if we don't have sufficient vitamin C, then those cells are not strong enough to do the cell-to-cell communication. So by having the support from the vitamin C, helps prevent the free radicals from breaking down these weak cells. This can help improve the synthesis of the collagen and our connective tissues in our bodies, so it makes us stronger. Now, vitamin C is also known as ascorbic acid and is naturally found in a wide range of varieties of fruits and vegetables. Vitamin C is easy to consume. It can't be stored in the body though, so it needs to be consumed on a daily basis. Saying you had an orange last week is really just not going to cut it. An interesting note, there's more vitamin C in peppers than there are in oranges. So eat your peppers with your salads. But anyway, so a daily dosage can be up to like 15 grams per day, but you will be limited by gut tolerance. And this is why you'll often see high doses of vitamin C being intravenously injected in with these IV drips that you get. There's 3 different active forms of vitamin C that I want you to be aware of. We have ascorbic acid. It's common to put vitamin C with bioflavonoids, and also there is a form of vitamin C called a liposomal vitamin C. Now, liposomals are also other vitamins that you can find, and these are the highest quality version of a vitamin C. But initially, let's have a look at ascorbic acid. Now, you'll see it as L-ascorbic acid often on the back of the packet. It's synthetically and chemically an active supplement of vitamin C. It can be too acidic for the body if you have acid reflux, and it can cause problems if taken for longer than over 2 days. So the issue is that because it's quite acidic and the pH of your gut is already quite acidic or too alkaline, because acid reflux can mean both, If you take higher doses or too much ascorbic acid, it can be quite painful and not very pleasant, and it can be quite irritating if you already have a sensitive digestive system. So the best thing to do is then look for vitamin C's that are supported with bioflavonoids. Now, citrus bioflavonoids have been shown to act synergistically, can't say it today, with the vitamin C in neutralising the free radicals. So it helps to increase the uptake of the vitamin C within the gut microbiome without it losing its potency, I suppose is what I'm trying to say there. This unique delivery means it's in a more gentler form of vitamin C and is often not associated with gut issues. Now, the liposomal, this is the most absorbable and the bioavailable in the body because the vitamin C is encased within the liposomes, and they're microscopic droplets surrounded by a lipobiolayer, I know, stick with me, and are the same as what's already in your cell membranes, and the cells will use this lipid biolayer to communicate in and out what's let things into the cell and what takes things out through this sort of channel as such. So the liposome makes that vitamin C a fat soluble instead of water soluble, and therefore it is easily transported into the cell rather than staying on the outside of the cell in a water soluble form, and therefore it can be used and taken up within the cell alongside those B vitamins to help support the energy to be delivered and for the mitochondria to form. When it's kept as a water soluble, if the cell doesn't take it up or it's had too much of it, it will just be washed away and excreted. So the advantage of it being converted to this fat soluble version means it stays inside the cell. Okay, so you can hold it or store it. You will find that these versions of vitamin C, I think they also do them in vitamin D and glutathione, which comes later, they are far more expensive than the water soluble based ones. But again, value for money wise, it stays in the body, so you get a better uptake of these supplements, or these vitamins, should I say. Okay. So moving on to the optimal health span type supplements that I recommend and talk about is you've got the NAD, we've got magnesium, omega-3 and glutathione. And remember, these aren't doing anything different, they're just moving it to that next layer. Okay, so NAD is a coenzyme that supports the cell metabolism and has many other reactions within the body. So these supplements were created to help boost the amount of NAD plus circulating around the bloodstream. So NAD plus is a precursor to the NAD. So it's this active form, it's moved it on a gear. So it's presenting it into the metabolic pathways in a more active form of the vitamin B3, or a more active form of niacin. So the other one is then magnesium. Now this plays crucial roles in the body, such as supporting muscle and nerve function and energy production. Okay, so it's again looking at it as a whole. Magnesium also helps to balance other of the minerals that are in the body, so things like sodium, calcium and potassium. Now the supplemental dose is often about 200 milligrams a day and is generally considered safe and an adequate amount. Any more than that, obviously you need to get some support or some advice on that. But the forms of magnesium are what are important, because 9 times out of 10 I will see social media posts and everyone's talking about magnesium, and they're right to. It is brilliant, you know, so many issues, so many health concerns. I'll often say magnesium, a bit like zinc as well, but don't go there, but magnesium. The different forms of it are interesting once you start to look to take a supplement. So you've got magnesium glycerate, magnesium taurate, magnesium citrate, and magnesium malate. Now you don't always get them individually. Quite often I've noticed that they're starting to create complexes. That's fine, but as always, my role is I want you to help you to understand the basics, and therefore you can make a choice to understand which one is right for you. So magnesium glycinate is one of the most bioavailable and absorbable forms of magnesium, and it is also the least likely to induce diarrhea. So it's the safest option for correcting any long-term deficiency. The main benefit is for relaxation and for sleep issues. You have a poor sleep quality, For example, if you can't get to sleep, this is where we would recommend magnesium glycinate. Now, magnesium taurate is great for the mental health, so the neurotransmitters, and helps to support the muscle function. The main benefit is about getting the energy back into the cell, so that repair section, so reducing tiredness, fatigue, and supporting the nervous system to create this more normal muscle function. So citrate, now this is treated occasionally for constipation on a short-term basis. It's very quick. It's also, you'll find it quite often in electrolyte type drinks or support as well. Now, magnesium malate, now this is a combination really of magnesium and malic acid. It has many health benefits and it does fit into the anti-inflammatory categories as well, but mainly for alleviating depression, so lifting and delivering energy into the cell as we've already touched on, but also increasing that ability to tolerate exercise. Quite often when I speak to ladies who are starting to do more exercise as they go through the menopause, they'll often complain of muscle soreness, and this is where magnesium malate comes into its own there. So ideal for replenishing low magnesium levels quickly, as it has a less of a lactive effect as magnesium citrate, so you can have high levels of it without opening your bowels, so it actually goes into the muscles rather than just relaxing everything. Okay, so that's magnesium, and they're the different forms for that. Then coming on to omega-3. Now, omega-3 is one of these things that people are often familiar with on a supplementation basis, and they'll say omegas and things like that. But the big posh names, I'm clearly not going to attempt to say those. But the main, like I said, the first one, number one is alpha linoleic acid. I like saying that one, so ALA. And this helps again in the inflammation category. EPA, which is very good or often found to support heart health, and DHA is about supporting brain and vision. I like them all. You know, when you're looking at a functional approach, it's not about sort of pinpointing them. But the idea of an omega-3 is it's very difficult to consume the high qualities of EPA and DHA. So this is why it's on my list of things to supplement with. Okay, so regardless of how good your diet is, 9 times out of 10, we're still not getting enough of these supplements that I'm talking about, and omega-3 is one of the big ones. So the term omega-3 actually refers to the family of these fatty acids, and they all play various roles, which is why you'll see them often sort of listed separately. ALA occurs very potent or often in plant-based foods, so in your nuts and your seeds and things like that. And EPA and DHA are often found in the fish oils, which is why you'll see them advertised or in a supplement form as with your fish oils. So optimal 3:2 ratio is for efficacy to supporting this healthy inflammatory response. Most disease is caused by inflammation, so if you want to address any form of inflammation, you need to be looking at your omega-3s. Again, yes, I talk about it being EPA and DHA being in oily fish, but the shelf life of that oily fish and the cooking processes and those sorts of things, the omega-3 is at the end of this fatty acid chain. So as I say, it can easily be lost. So the quality of the omega-3 in our foods can often be damaged very easily with transport time and also in the cooking. So hence, as a supplement, we can get this ratio a lot better than we can with just food. Okay, so hence I always recommend an omega-3 supplementation. So moving on to another antioxidant, so glutathione is a peptide that is found in plants and animals. It's the most powerful, we call it the master antioxidant, and it's naturally produced by the liver to protect the body against these free radicals, toxins and heavy metals. Glutathione also eliminates poisons such as drugs and pollutants from our body. So it's like backup. It's brilliant. It attaches itself and it excretes things. Quite often though, we can be low in glutathione, and again, the Limasul glutathione supplements are also a great option, as they can also improve and help with this absorption, especially in the liver. So more often in a formula that contains milk thistle or for liver support, or you'll see it in a green tea extract. All great because it's about protecting the cells from the free radical damage and giving yourself extra liver support. And then probiotics. So the final one, this in itself is a playlist, right? Probiotics is absolutely huge and everyone's talking about them, and gut microbiome. So I just wanted to touch on them really, so that again you can understand the basics. Most of us, it says here, ideal for those who wish. We should all be wanting to support our microflora balance and the mucous membranes, as it's fundamentally the communication pathways or the function of our immune system. Around 70% of our immune system is based in the gut, and there is so much communication on the whole of our body that starts in the gut and works its way out, which means supporting and maintaining our gut health is crucial for any form of immunity. Okay, now our gut microbiome wants both friendly bacteria as well as the pathogens such as the bacteria and the viruses. It wants everything. It's its own ecosystem. So it wants the good bacteria. So by consuming probiotics, you're creating a barrier in the gut to reduce infections. It's about having the ingredients in there so it knows what's good and bad, so it's able to fight back. So lifestyle factors such as illnesses, medications can disrupt this balance of microbiome. So yes, if you've unfortunately had to have some sort of antibiotic course or some sort of steroids for something, or you're taking anti-inflammatories or any over-the-counter type stuff, always think you need to rebalance that gut microbiome pH back again. You need to give it the bacteria so it can create its own defense system as such. Okay, so yes, your medications are stripping things away, so always think strip away, fine, get rid of that bad, but you need to put the good back in as well, and that's where probiotics are ideal. So the final part of this little lesson I wanted to talk about is these supplements are all brilliant, fantastic. You've gone to all this length to understand them and buy them, and everyone looks at them, takes them for about a day or two and then sticks them in the cupboard. Nobody good to anybody. Okay, so these are my sort of 4 tips on how to make sure, or how to create the habitual behaviour to take in these supplements. First and foremost, with any of my habit-based behavioural advice, it's what's the reward. Think about what you're taking these supplements for, and remember why. Why is it important to you? Without the why, you won't do anything at all. Okay, so always remember that. I often write it out, have it in my book or something, in my notebook, because you forget. You just think, oh, it's just a supplement. Oh yeah, well, because Jen said so. No, you've got to be understanding, why am I taking these supplements? What's the advantage to me? How will I feel each day if I do or I don't? Okay, but fundamentally, if you can improve the quality of those cells and improve your efficacy, let's say, of the nutrients, so your body can therefore improve the mitochondria, you quids in. However, these are the practical tips. I have a pill box. I bought it on Amazon. Every Sunday when I'm doing my food prep and planning the week ahead, I update my pill box and I put each one in each of those pill boxes. I'm sure there's a video on here somewhere of me doing such things. The other trick then is don't put the pill box in the back of the cupboard. If you're not going to use a pill box and you've only got, say, 2 or 3 tubs of supplements, you've just got my basics, for example, a vitamin C and a B-Vit complex, then keep it somewhere obvious. Make it that you have to move them out the way to get to the kettle. Something like that. It's about seeing them rather than putting them in the back of the cupboard is sort of where I'm going with that. The other thing I like to do is write on the top like how many I'm going to have each day and how often. Is it the morning, is it the afternoons, per AM or PM, 1 tab or 2 tab, because you forget, right? So then you look, and you just lose the momentum. But if it's clear as day, brilliant. So put them somewhere obvious. I've got some clients that have them upstairs when they're doing the makeup. They have them upstairs when they're doing their skin, by the water bottle on the way to the gym, those sorts of things. But the other trick with this is to habit stack it. So I create a behaviour that I will automatically do every day, and then I stick my supplements attached to it. So I make a coffee every day. There's nothing that's ever going to change that. wind, rain or shine, I am going to press the button on my coffee machine and I will have a coffee before I walk out the door. No questions asked. So that's where I keep my pill box, right next door to that. I create a open, press button for coffee, open thingy door, take my supplements. I stack the two things together. Something that I'm always going to do every day with something new that I want to add. Cleaning your teeth. You're going to do that every day without fail. Put them upstairs next to where you're cleaning your teeth. Yeah? So habit stack, taking your supplements. The other thing I do with my clients is we do a scorecard. I like giving out ticks. I like to praise myself for the most simplest of things in life. Because life's so difficult as it is, we might as well get a tick for the simple things. So I often do a scorecard on my meal planner and just put water, steps, taken supplements. And therefore, if I get to the end of the day and I'm looking at my overall success of the day, if I haven't taken my supplements, I can take my supplements, or I can at least reflect on why have I not taken my supplements, what could I do differently to make sure that I do. So supplements are amazing. They are part of your overall functional health and they will help you once you've got good health to achieve optimal health. Food is always first, but supplements are a great addition. So I do hope that this lesson has helped you to understand the fundamentals or the basics of which supplements you should be taking and the benefits to you. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.